All right.
I don't even know what's filming.
It's fine. Now it's filming. So, who are you and what's your channel?
My name is Matt Mignona and my channel is Conjecture.
Excellent. So, what do you do on Conjecture? Or what have you done?
Okay. I talk about I find ideas that are interesting to me, things about which I am passionate, and I share them. A lot of them can be related to psychology, but that's my background, psychology, but a lot of them are really just whatever I'm interested in at the moment. Because I've also done a lot of stuff on statistics and things like comparing the emissions of electric cars compared to gasoline cars, and just facts. Just whatever I find interesting in the moment.
Nice. So, give me an example of a video that you've done that has had a bit of attention.
A bit of attention.
I think you might know the one that I'm leading you towards.
I think I do. All right. Got it. So, I made a parody video of Vsauce, CGP Grey, and the Vlogbrothers, and I always, when I say a parody, I wasn't making fun of them. In fact, in the video, I talk about how it would more accurately be called a pastiche, which is an imitative work meant to honor and respect the original creator. But yeah, I think John Green actually saw that video and he tweeted it out at one point, and that was what kind of pushed me into the eyes of a lot more people. And it's funny because if you go and look at my YouTube analytics, you can see kind of like, oh, he's living life. Boom, John Green. And then it goes back down a little, but
Nice.
Yeah. So that's that.
Awesome. So why are you doing YouTube? Like, what are you doing in your day job?
So currently I'm a student. I'll be a senior in the fall at Pennsylvania State University in Pennsylvania State, Commonwealth actually. But why do I do YouTube? I just, sometimes I learn about ideas that are just so interesting. I feel like I can't not share them. I will call my friends and I'll just talk their ear off, and usually they'll appreciate it, but there's a lot of stuff in this world that I think is really cool and that I would be unhappy if I never told anyone.
That's fair. That's fair. So, how long have you been on YouTube?
So, I think I've been on YouTube for, now it's a little more than 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, yeah, I guess it's funny. I think when I started YouTube, I remember thinking that having been on YouTube for 2 years or something would be such a long time, and now that I'm here, it feels like not a long time. I've got around 90 videos, but I feel like I haven't even been on YouTube that long.
Do you have long-term goals regarding YouTube, or do your long-term goals focus around something else? Or both?
Yeah, so I would be perfectly happy if I never sort of had a YouTube channel that became huge or anything. In fact, I heard this thing today that says if you don't get 100,000 subscribers in your first year, you might never. So we'll see what happens with that. I think it'd be really cool to be in a level or in a tier with bigger creators. I think I'd have the potential and ability to exist in that level. But if it doesn't happen, I'm also okay with that. It'd be cool for it to happen, but I would be able to find enjoyment. Well, I already derive enjoyment from what I'm doing, and that's why I continue doing it. It's not just aspirations of success. Those aren't the only reasons I do YouTube. But yeah, I enjoy what I'm doing both in and out of YouTube. So if YouTube didn't pan out the way I was thinking, then I would still live a happy and fun life, I think.
Nice. So, you mentioned school. Does what you're studying in school, and we'll ask what you're studying in school, how does that relate to what you're doing on YouTube?
So, I am studying psychology, and frankly, I do a lot of videos on psychological topics, and you might think like, oh, that's clearly because he's majoring in psychology. Yes and no. Yes, because obviously you would understand why I would do that, why I would make psychological-based videos if I'm studying psychology. But no, in the sense that I'm not studying psychology because I want to be a psychologist. I'm studying it because of every major has a bunch of things they require you to do, and all the things within the psych major put together seemed like the most interesting option out of all the things I could be doing. I'm not doing psychology because I want to be a psychologist, but rather because as a whole, it seems like the most interesting thing I could spend my time doing. And so by extension of that, when I'm on YouTube, I don't just think, oh, I'm gonna make a psych video. I think I'm gonna make a video on literally whatever I'm interested in. I think more often than not, it's something psychology based, but it's really whatever I just find interesting.
Nice, nice. Do you have any final words for the folks at home tuning in?
Folks at home. Yeah, I would ask Are you using an old TV? Because if you're tuning in, I feel like you have to be using an old TV or the one where you had the knobs to actually tune in. But to give you other final words, that was like one of those things where you're waiting for the audience's reaction to it, and then you see that there's nothing, and you're like, I'm gonna keep going.
No, it's fine. I was just gonna make some comment about I didn't realize your ass was going to school too, because it's real smart.
Hey!
Hey!
I like that.
Thank you.
Final words? Just have a scientific mind. You don't have to be a quote unquote scientist. You don't have to make content on YouTube, but I think people in the world need to have a more kid-like scientific curiosity that drives them, because there's just so much fascinating about the world, and you can get interested in anything if you allow yourself, and if there's a good teacher.
Nice. Well, hey, thanks.
No problem. Thank you.
And give me your sign off.
My sign off. I don't really have a sign off.
Quick,
So it's
make
like,
one.
It's something like, thanks, I'll see you later, and then I cover the camera.